Hey guys, here we go. Back at another one. So, Sean Kingston, yeah, the guy who made Beautiful Girls, that's the guy. He just got exposed the other day for running a massive wire fraud scheme with his mother. And when I say scheme, I mean millions of dollars stolen, luxury items, fake deals, man, you name it. But hold up, how did he go from singing about, suicidal heartbreak, suicide? How did he go from that to allegedly scamming businesses out of six figures? Let's talk about it. And trust me, the details in this case, man, they make him look like a straight up unprofessional con artist. You wouldn't even remember that this is the guy who worked with Justin Bieber, right? So, just a quick background on Sean Kingston's career. If I was born in the 2000s, so if you were also, around that age, you couldn't escape hearing Sean Kingston's biggest songs. Beautiful Girls came out in 2007, and I remember it was just all over the radio. Take You There, Fire Burning, like these are just the corniest 2000 songs I can remember. But back in the day, these were fucking hits, like slappers. Like I couldn't go to school without this being on the radio, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys couldn't either. But always looking back, I thought he was rich. I used to think all these niggas was rich, bro. You know what I'm saying? But clearly not. So let's break it down real quick, right? The actual fraud breakdown, because there's a lot to get into. So Sean Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, they're actually accused of defrauding several companies by falsely claiming to have made payments for high-end goods and services. The alleged scheme involved obtaining luxury items without completing the promised payments. Right, guys, and real quick, if you're selling stuff like, man, I don't even want to let people hear beats without them buying it. So as a musician, especially like when it comes to doing deals and selling things and getting a payment, if you're not collecting a deposit, a full deposit first, I wouldn't even, do it. It's just, you can't trust people in this world nowadays, unfortunately. I don't think you ever could. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, yeah, so him and his mom were on a little spree. So what does this say, by the way? Like, growing up, I had like a stricter kind of mom, and I remember my mom told me if I ever went to jail, she was not going to bail me out. Like, I'd be in there stuck. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's a little bit more of that to my background. I'm pretty sure y'all had those kind of parents out there too. Like and subscribe if you did. And if you didn't, man, you probably was on the same kind of vibe type shit. You know what I'm saying? I got some of those homos whose parents was damn near thugging with them. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about some of these cases, right? On November 15th, Kingston and Turner allegedly acquired furniture worth $86,000. That's a lot of zeros. So what happened was, his mom had issued them a check for $44,000, and that bounced to insufficient funds. But by the time it had bounced, it was too late. They had already gotten away with the furniture and left them high and dry. And that's not the only time, because on November 21st, they also reportedly obtained a Cadillac Escalade. Y'all know the thing about Escalades. Those are like 300,000 K, right? So if you're getting off on Escalades, nigga, you at the top. But it says that they had obtained a Cadillac Escalade valued at 150K from an exotic car dealer located in Doral and Coral Gables, Florida. Sorry if I mispronounced it. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. So it looks like I'm talking within 6 days. They hit 80,000 for furniture, 150K for a car. They was probably in that zone. If you've ever gotten off on somebody, or like, I'm not saying that's good. If you ever do anything like that, they probably thought they were untouchable. You know what I'm saying? And that's just 2 of the times they did this. So that's already a car. That's already furniture, right? On March 14th, they allegedly took $480,000 worth of jewelry from a man named, how do you say this? Nikolenko. It's unclear whether Nikolenko is a jeweler or the owner of the items, but That's from the Miami Herald, and I'm gonna guess that's the actual name of the dude. But I could be wrong, by the way. I am human. But the indictment states that they were unjustly enriched themselves by falsely representing that they had executed a bank wire, or other like monetary payments, the transfers for the vehicles, for the jewelry, and other goods purchased, when in fact no transfers had been executed. So, how do y'all feel about that? They were just getting off on niggas, bro. They said, "Hey, bro, I'll get you this Thursday, this Friday." If you're a producer, I feel like you have to know like these kind of artists. You know what I'm saying? Like those like, hey, this is gonna be more of a gift for you if you let me get some of your beats. Like I'm gonna look out on the back end, and there is no back end. You know what I'm saying? Or like, oh, I really gotta get this off. I'm in the studio. Let me get some beats. As a musician, as a producer, we see a lot of this bullshit, and I know rappers see it amongst their own community too. So it's not really surprising to see this, but it's surprising such a big name. Like this is Sean Kingston we're talking about. He was with Justin Bieber. He was in the big leagues. And I also remember, because I read this, he did a deal for his catalog for, I believe it was $400K. And instead of paying off any of these loans or anything, he just kept running it up. At what point do you gotta say, damn, it might be time to call it quits? And they did end up calling it quits because the FBI raided his mansion and seized his motherfucking vehicles. They took that nigga shit. So let me ask you this. You out here flexing on IG while apparently not paying for a single thing. Like, do y'all think it was just? Like, how does that even work? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got chains around your neck. You got VVs and shit. But in reality, it's because you're running off on people and stuff. Like, just building up a look almost. The reality doesn't really add up to the accusations. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, dang, how much of this is really just one big, not even, it's just a persona. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the paperwork, this wasn't just like a one-off mistake. This is a full operation. At what point do you stop scamming and just admit that you're broke? All right, so that's all that. But can we talk about how they actually got arrested and actually got caught? So after running off for the Audemars Piguet watch, right? He tells the dude that he's gonna get him back. He's gonna pay him back. He's gonna pay him the check bounces. He's like, oh, we're gonna take care of it. The reason that it bounced was because it's international, and then he starts making up excuses until he just flakes, classic, rug pull from an artist as soon as they get what they want. You know what I'm saying? So that ended up to them getting complaints. And once those complaints got investigated, it turned out, not only he was involved, but his mother too. So the fact that his mom was involved, I mean, either that's fucking legendary in the streets, or that's real scummy. You know what I'm saying? Imagine your mom is running scams with you. Like, would you see that as legendary, or would you see that as tragic? We've seen similar stuff like this. I haven't watched TV in a while, but I remember that they had those two stars on that, what is it called? Like the Chrisley show, or Chrisley Knows Best in 2022. They were convicted of conspiring to defraud the community banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans. They were literally on TV, like balling out with the Kardashians in front of you. But in reality, they were, defrauding the banks, nigga. They were submitting false bank statements, audit reports, and financial statements to obtain loans, which they used to fund that lavish lifestyle that we all got to see. But they were also guilty of tax crimes too, including trying to defund the International Revenue Service as well. So it's not just Sean Kingston who does this. It seems like it's more of a personality kind of thing, you could say. There's certain personality traits. some of these artists, hold, and that's really what it is. And some of them are scammers. This is just niggas that got caught. There's probably niggas who are so deep in scamming and getting over on people right now, and all you see is just the lavish lifestyles. Think of the artist Cecil P that got killed with Sauce Walker. Not with Sauce Walker, but next to Sauce Walker. He got off at 200K. He got off with 200K off a nigga. Like, if, you know what I'm saying? But he's pushing these lavish lifestyles. He's doing this. He's getting signed. So, it really shows what is going on behind closed doors. And the craziest part is the FBI doesn't raid you unless they have solid evidence. The FBI, they got you. If the FBI raids you, it is over, my nigga. It's not a coinkydink. They got you, bro. So just keep that in mind. This is not looking good for Sean Kingston or his mother. And, keep them in your hearts if, shit. I mean, how bad can you feel for somebody for getting off like that? I mean, I've gotten off on niggas, but I own up to it. If something was to happen to me because of that, I'd know it, it's because of that. Niggas are talking about me too. But it is what it is. So just to recap real quick, Kingston went from a platinum records to allegedly running scams like a bootleg Wolf of Wall Street. That's just wild. If these charges stick, this could be the end of his career, nigga. Like, for real this time. You know what I'm saying? This might put him in shambles. But that's up for you guys to decide, Really, it's up to a judge, but we can decide how we think about him and how we choose to carry his name afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Is he still gonna be the Kingston? You know what I'm saying? But especially when he out here scamming and shit. But do you think he actually did it, or is this all just one big misunderstanding? Would you be surprised if more celebrities were doing stuff like this? Or do you think that this is how celebrities get off? And by the way, guys, I'm trying to come at y'all with a new video every day. If you think this is crazy, you should see what I got planned next. This shit. In the world of celebrities and entertainment, it just feels like it gets crazier and crazier. And just being a producer and being an artist myself, this kind of stuff, it's not shocking to see, but it's always going to be shocking and a reminder to stay on your toes. With that being said, though, it's Lawrence the King. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and tap in. I'm getting better at these videos. You ain't even got to tell me. We're going to take off this year, and it's going to be the one. But till then, stay tuned.